manage the contracts and labor department, the compliance department at Fortune Urban Construction, Related Urban Construction, which is owned by the Related Group. And basically what we do is all affordable housing, for the most part, affordable housing. Employees have to be paid the wages that are set forth by the Davis-Bacon wage determination. So each project has their own wage determination, and the subcontractors must pay those wages. And then in turn, here in the compliance department, what we do is we have to cross-reference. So every employee that signs into the job site, we need to make sure that they were paid for the days that they reported to the site, and that they were paid the appropriate wages and have the appropriate deductions. So all that is reported to public housing, which in turn reports to HUD, DOL. So yeah, we're monitored across all agencies. There's a lot more monitoring when it comes to compliance, and we also have Section 3 where the subs hire low-income workers, and we also have to keep track of that and monitor that and make sure their income is correct and they do qualify. So it's a lot of checking. It's a lot of work. It's very tedious, labor-intensive work. Before, it was tracked on paper. So when a worker would report to the job site, they physically had to write their name and the dates that they were there. So every day they would have to sign in. And what happens is that, I forgot to sign in yesterday, so I'm just going to sign in today for the rest of the week because I know I'm going to be here for the rest of the week. There are weeks where we have 180 workers on a job site and 150 on another, or we had a sign-in sheet per sub, per job site. And so you can imagine, our shell contractor has 80 workers when we're, starting the shell or putting a block. We have, depending on the size of the building, 80 laborers at any time. If each sheet has 10 spots, you have 8 sheets just for one sub. For years, we had the issues where employees would pre-sign in for the week or not sign in at all, and then there would be an interview from PHCD or from any monitoring agency, and that employee was nowhere to be found, and there was a lot of confusion, a lot of time being spent just trying to decipher someone's writing. So yeah, it was extremely challenging, and it took a long time. It was actual paper. You had to print paper out. You had to mark paper. If you made a mistake, you had to redo it. You had to reprint. You had to white out. When I took over the department, I said, we cannot do this paper thing anymore, which was, I think, like 2 years ago. I said, I cannot do this. I cannot. So when I took over, with the group, we started to look for options and affordable options, because we found options, but they were extremely costly. And so we were looking for something affordable and something user-friendly. So now it takes for example, a job site that has 180 employees, it can take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, whereas before it would take about 2 hours. Yeah, maybe on a good day, it would take 2 hours. No, it's just a much easier start to their day. They don't have to physically employ someone to sit there with a pen and paper to have people come in and sign. It's just someone's there. They have one entrance to the job site, and everyone knows you need to go to the SmartBarrel. You need to sign in the barrel. That's it. It's very simple. It's more of an efficient process, obviously, for the CMs at the start of the day. Been able to have their assistants and their assistant supers focus on the actual construction and not the sign-ins and, counting your guys and how many guys do you have on site today. And, it's a much easier process today than it was 3 years ago. The integration with Procore is really helpful for them when they're doing their daily reports. So that's also a game changer, whereas before they didn't have that They don't have to physically employ someone to sit there with a pen and paper to have people come in and sign. It's just someone's there. They have one entrance to the job site, and everyone knows you need to go to the SmartBarrel. You need to sign in the barrel. That's it. It's very simple. I mean, it's more of an efficient process, obviously, for the CMs at the start of the day. Using SmartBarrel has been extremely beneficial because the employee is accountable for their time, and they when they report, we know that they're there. Once we implemented the device and the procedures, I sent them the template, they sent me back their core employee list, and then granted, there was a learning curve. You need to give me everyone that's going to sign in, not just who you think is going to be there that day or that week, or So that was a little bit of a process, but really no pushback. They didn't push back at all. Typically, the Davis-Bacon wages are higher than the standard wages that are paid for any given trade. And so the subs want to make sure that they're paying the correct time at that higher rate. And one of our shell companies is adamant to have their guys sign in and sign out, and then they can cross-reference and make sure that there isn't anything funny going on. And so they're using it as a secondary verification system. There's transparency there, and they see that it's not that I'm saying or I'm making it up, or we brought in a sign-in sheet, we signed it ourselves. No, you're seeing it. You can log in at any time. You can see when your guys are there. So there's transparency there, and it's helped in that process, and that working relationship has been a lot better with our subs, a lot better. From our perspective, from the compliance department, it's extremely efficient, really easy to use, and we're really happy with the system.